Buenos nachos, amigos, and welcome to Through the Tomes, where a bunch of understanding and patient adventurers go on a TTRPG journey, guided by an amateur GM, using pre-built modules and settings and tools and kits available around in places and online to show how easy it can be done. I'm PD Rave, your amateur GM and amateur, because you could tell everything. Here with me is my party, my squad, my gang. We've got Drew.
Hey,
Mhm.
folks, also amateur.
We've got Chris.
Hi there. I'm playing around with a few things myself, trying to see if I can get my own feet in the water, talking about getting ready for beginners. It's definitely a lot of beginning today.
Yeah. We've got Kelly.
NJ crochet.
Nice. And we've got Irish.
Hello, everybody. A lot of stuff has happened today that doesn't make PD too happy in the baseball world.
Yeah. It is what it is. It is what it is. I'm used to it.
That's if you can say that same phrase in Spanish if you spell the word socks.
Yeah.
Eso sí que es.
Yeah. Yeah, we're here to play D&D. We're going through the adventure of Hand of the Eight, courtesy of DM Dave, which you can get at dmdave.com. It's part of the Omeria campaign setting, so you can get Pexia's Guide to Omeria and Hand of the Eight campaign book over there. You can pre-order them, order them in physical copies or in PDF form, and also found VDT format and things like that. So it's worth checking out. It's really cool stuff. Yeah, we are now officially starting chapter 3 of this adventure, as the gang finally have been on the hunt for Mega. He had unfortunately had escaped at the end of the last adventure. In fact, before that, they found that where they were looking for him, he had not been, but luckily they did rescue Nadia Mansouri, the daughter of Bahik Mansouri, the noble that had tasked them with this, and were rewarded for it. And that was where we left off, and then also everyone leveled up to level 3, which is really exciting. A lot of people picked out stuff and boosted their HP. Now everyone's a little stronger and a little bit more capable. So let's see what hell we can bring down upon them, or Dave Hamrick can bring down upon them. I'm washing my hands of this. It's all Dave's fault. That's what I'm saying. If there's a TPK, it's not my fault. It's Dave's fault.
Thanks, Dave.
Yes.
It's happening.
But yeah. Now we get to this next part, and for this part, it's that fun time again, where I get to sneak off with Drew into the secret chat.
That was weird.
Ooh. Fun secret chat.
Huh? Wait. No, there's me here, and here. Yes. All right. So, okay. Let's hear it. All right. You're dreaming. You know you're dreaming. You can sense it. But there's something more to this dream. From the swirling darkness of this unconscious construction, you can feel something, someone. In the center of this darkness, you see a great fire. A row of buildings hidden amid tall palms and poplars burns, tossing embers into the night. Scale-faced warriors, dragonborn, tear apart the location. A red dragon passes overhead, casting flames onto the remaining village. A young boy is watching all of this. Beside him stands a tall man. You can't see his face. With a long blue cloak. The man places a hand on the boy's shoulder. The hand is covered in orange scales. Its fingers end in claws. The boy looks towards you. This is where everything changes. The boy looks up. Strange streaks of green mask the sky and moons. He looks back at you. His eyes glow the same emerald green as the sky. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
There we go. Where?
DM use
Normal roll?
yeah, just a regular little perception. I'm also going to DM you the text of what I just told you.
Thank you.
Normal roll. So you recognize that the figure in blue with the boy is the same paladin figure you saw from your last stream. Yeah, that's pretty
Why
much.
do you keep coming to me when I'm asleep?
Mhm.
Can I get that out? Like, am I lucid?
You don't really get anything out. It almost feels like you're just an observer, and then shortly after that, you wake up. All right, I'm just gonna pop you up there.
Like everyone?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
All right.
Like,
So,
Shout out.
and to kind of like give a little quick recap. So, since the adventure on Jando's Spire, you all went back to Haver, rested, recovered from the adventure, you know, had some calm couple days, and I'm gonna say like a good week later, you eventually get word of Bahik Mansuri. You let's see. Okay. After the adventure, but we'll kind of go through this. When you get back to Haver, you guys have a conversation with him about Hik Mansuri. He tells you guys that his plan is that he will pay you guys 10,000 gold pieces if you can capture or kill Mega, and he's not picky. He does warn you that he's also going to offer this reward to anyone willing to collect.
it's all about who gets him first.
Yeah. He feels you guys have been helpful. He doesn't want Mega to slip through the cracks a third time. And you guys, had this conversation. You obviously agree to this. It's the various either reticent or excitedly agree to this offer, and then he gives you guys transport to Castle Grasp. He goes off on ahead, but he arranges for you guys to eventually get to the city on your own, and the transport, and you travel. You go all the way to the big city. You arrive at Castle Grasp, and I get to read you guys this gigantic novel of a set of paragraphs.
Excited.
Castle Grasp, the city of granite, juts out like a sand-colored fist at the edge of the Bay of Swen. The unbreachable 40-foot walls surrounding the city wrap Castle Grasp like the arms of a protective mother. At the center of the city, on a grand mound, stands the famous Violet Sar, the royal palace and home to the city's 11th Khan, Hamrick. Castle Grasp's blue and violet banners flutter in the warm breeze escaping from the south, where the haze of the obsidian plain lingers, a stern reminder of the city's original purpose. Before entering the city, you find yourself surrounded by foreign merchants hawking their wares along the road. A Dinser seller offers rare, brightly colored birds and other strange creatures in locked cages. Goshen fruit vendors pressure you with strange yellow fruit shaped like crescent moons. You even come eye to 8 eyes with a mysterious Krig. He deals in leather wares. Studded leather from Orbea. Very good, yes, clicks the man spider. Also among the crowd, you see the legendary Stone Arms, the Royal Templars of Castle Grasp. Most cover their faces with a blue and violent keffiyehs, or wear ivory masks carved to look like tigers. However, there's no mistaking the rocky limbs from which they derive their honorific. Another surprising feature of the city is the wild tigers that roam its streets. The great amber, black, and white felines seemingly pay no mind to the city's inhabitants. However, many of the Castle Graspians make sure to bow their heads in the presence of the city's most sacred animal. A girl no older than 7 ties a bow made of flowers to one of the beast's tails. No protests come from the feline.
Damn, these are some well-trained animals. And cats are notoriously not known for being well-trained.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty crazy, yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things you know that you were told that anybody that was going to participate in was to visit his assistant, Mansouri's assistant, Tree by the Lake. To which to go visit. You go to one of the Mansouri's wine shops at the northern end of the Deck Bazaar, and you enter the wine shop and you see kind of a short, squirrely tiefling. You see that he's kind of like a little bit tired, a little bit worn out, but just there, kind of going by to the motions of, and he greets you. He's like, hello, what can I help you out with? Are you guys here for the bounty? Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. Let me give you the details. All right. The bounty is 10,000 gold pieces. It'll be paid in Tajuni Tay, as usual. The reward is the same whether he's dead or alive. If Mega is killed, the orc's head must be brought back to Mansouri and be identifiable through divination enchantments. And that's it. Are there any questions?
Is there any potential for an advance, and then we're able to bring him back? Just in any way, shape, or form. Is there like a potential just for asking?
No.
Not saying that there has to be.
No. Next question.
Fair.
Mm.
just the equivalent of getting too close to the microphone. Thank you for the time.
Have you heard any leads on where he might be lately?
Well, we know that if a few travelers from the Eastern Gates claim to have information about him, you might find some of them in the Armed Lavender Inn. They do have 10 or so Azadaz orcs that they captured and they put in the city's dungeon. They're all sentenced to petrification and the art of deterrence, per usual. It's all going to be taken care of next Zurich. Zurich being the last day of the week. The orcs, they did tell the Stone Arms that Mega's first mate, Glorank, was missing from the raid of Jandospire, and Glorank was likely to have an object of great importance. As far as leads on him, the rumor is that Mega maybe has a brother who lives somewhere in the Taju Confederacy. That's about it. Yeah. You might be able to. The best bet is maybe just kind of asking around. See if you can ask around for rumors and ask for information around town.
Yeah, certainly. Thanks.
Yeah. Good luck to you.
Is there a time limit on this bounty?
No, just don't be second place.
Fair enough.
As the words of my ancient forefathers before me have always decreed, if you ain't first, you're last.
Good advice. Well, if
Great granddaddy. Great granddaddy Rickabody.
If there are no further questions, I have further work to do. You may go about your business.
It is me.
Mm-hmm. So.
So how likely you think it is that they'd let us talk to those who are in jail? Just to the others after we walked away from him.
There are. So. Let's see. You can ask around.
I was gonna say, is there anybody that has a look like they might know?
So,
that person looks like they know some orcs.
so
right.
So you can walk around.
Is there anybody around that while we were having this discussion, maybe tipped their hand a bit too much or something like that?
Yeah. So what you can do is you can just you can just ask around.
That's true. Was there anybody else hanging around like they were looking to follow the bounty?
I'm saying give me a perception check. I mean one person gives me a perception check. I was saying you don't it's hard to spot anybody that outright looks like a bounty hunter nearby the city, and as you go about as you start making your way as a group around your first steps around, you don't quite spot anyone that sticks out as this is what a bounty hunter looks like.
Yeah, you're not seeing a guy with a rocket-powered backpack. You're not just seeing him like stroll.
But yeah, as you presumably ask around, what you can do is one of you can give me a persuasion or intimidation check. Just kind of spend an hour kind of walking around, talking to people, hearing, listening, trying to
Let me
find
see.
out rumors. Who
I have
would
a
like to?
+2 in both. So if somebody has high,
Somebody has high. What were the
Persuasion or intimidation.
yep,
intimidation? I do have a nice little +2 to my intimidation, and my persuasion
same.
Is 0,
is
yeah.
at a 0.
So either one
Well,
of
I'll roll
you.
to intimidate. Let's find out. I give him the good old-fashioned. Hey, you!
I say, can I detect?
It's just like you kind of like you start to swirl up to some like somebody that you think, okay, I'm gonna shake this person down to get their information, and you do your best
And just
tough
pull up my just the good old-fashioned to pull up the pant legs, the shirt down. Let's go, and then the quick walk.
You ask us like, do you know anything about the Mega the Bash? I was like, and then you seem to have successfully intimidated them somewhat as the little old lady that you score up with seems to have like jumps at you, jumps back, and it's like, what? I don't want any. No, thank you, and then runs off.
Don't worry, we'll get her by nightfall.
Yeah, maybe a little more gentle.
Oh, she's nothing but gentle.
Yeah, you
She's
kind of
nothing but
like
gentle.
you have a little trouble like getting people to really, because not a lot of people know much of anything about what's going on. Most
Stuffy
people are
nose.
just going about their business, and like you spend like an hour not quite coming up with much.
Alright, what was that tavern he mentioned? People
So
being
he
out
mentioned
might have mentioned stuff.
that. Let me give you the name.
Is
See, and then when other people tell me I mention taverns, I'm called rude and insistent.
I can't write that fast, but it brought tea to my mind, so I wrote down Jasmine.
Yeah, let's see. Where's? Okay, I'm going to open it here. The PDF is so much easier to read. Yeah, the Armed Lavender Inn.
I see the connection chain, the logic chain.
Yes. Yeah, and you
Let's
you
see
can
we
head.
try heading there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you ask around about the Armed Lavender Inn. You head over. It's a little bit, kind of like if you guys are looking at the map. Actually, just over to in game.
Quick question, I just gestured to the group. Have y'all already had any lunch yet? Are we making this just like the straight up intimidation thing, or are we also like catching a bite? Because I'm frankly, we are at a new place in the big city. Do we have to go right into work mode?
Yeah. So you guys head over to. It's like it's like there's a it's a good place
I
to,
mean,
to
this
get
is
a feast as well.
scary.
And then you find a bit north of the city, um, like the Armed Inn. Usually, a lot of the places in Castle Graps are very like, you know, elaborate decor, works of art in and of themselves. A bit of like archaeological circle jerks sometimes. But demonstrations of power and wealth. But this one is very like box of a building pressed close to like the city's outer walls. It's about warehouse sized hall that seems to cater to like Castle Graspians of like all types. Um, and as you head in there, it presumably like
Hang on, I think this is one of them hoity-toity kind of locales. So we should just get ourselves a little more fashionably suited.
Yeah, this place is.
All right, let's go. It just smooth.
yes.
Dust, hay.
Yeah, you walk in, and it's a kind of like it's what you would, it's almost like the Castle Graspian version of like this like big dive bar. It's very rough and tumble. You don't see any security around or any kind of like guards. It's a little bit out of the way. And you kind of sit and you situate yourself in a decent spot, and you get yourself whatever drinks or food. And do you guys presumably spend some time trying to like maybe interview some of the patrons or ask around?
Certain
I was gonna
something.
say if we can figure out who may have learned a thing that can help in this situation.
We don't want to just holler out anybody seen some orcs like.
Yeah.
That's why I'm thinking let's sit down,
Well,
have a
wait.
bite, and just key our ear a little in, see what we pick up. Just listen to the to what these, see where the connections happen to be.
I mean,
We just talk about it and let it be known that maybe they'll find us.
yeah.
Exactly right.
So what would you guys like to do? You ask around of if anybody might know anything, or do you?
Well, it did specifically say travelers. Are there anybody here that look more traveler-y than others?
You would say you look around. Give me yeah. So somebody can give me a perception check.
See if we can do it through D&D Beyond.
I am good at all the skills. Totally.
Oh shit! She already gave it.
Yeah, we can do. You're kind of looking around. You're kind of a little distracted by a lot of things. It's a little overwhelming. You don't quite spot much. But in fact, you look around, and you obviously it's impossible to know for sure to judge books by the cover, but from your observations and looking around at the people and their demeanor, this is definitely it seems like a locals place, especially even for like it's of a lot of, you see a lot of different people, a lot of like different graphs, but like based off what you see about people, maybe of how they're dressed and how familiar they might be with each other, you would
Yeah,
venture
it's
to
like an Olive
guess.
Garden. Like when you're here, your family. Everybody's buddy with each other. They know who the manager is.
Everybody
Um,
knows your name.
Exactly.
God
Oh my
damn it!
God!
I
I had
just do
the
the
other
piercing.
day. I really thought of having just a bar, a medieval bar, but it's just cheers, and it's called Huzzah.
Yes.
Damn
Where everybody knows thy name,
but yeah, that's
and
kind
they're
of.
all glad they came.
But yeah, that's what you kind of like. You get the sense that it's like a lot of like, um, a lot of locals. Nobody that really stands out as like like a like a traveler or like. I mean, like,
We're the most out of place looking.
yeah. I mean, there's a
I was gonna say,
couple that could be, but
the aim
it's
might detect thoughts in somebody, but seems useless if I can't figure out who to detect.
yeah.
I mean, you can wander between various people's like surface thoughts, can't you?
I think so. Yeah, you can see.
Are we hoping someone's just actively thinking about crime?
You can read the
Yo,
thoughts
man,
of
I'm
certain
so happy I
creatures.
just stabbed that guy in the back of the neck.
Yeah, you can focus your thoughts, but you can also just like just
Give a scan. Yeah.
Do they pick
Just think
up
about-
that you're there as you're like poking and prodding? Do they like
not if
pick up that
you
you're
not
like,
if you
"Mm,
don't dig in. Not if you don't dig in.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, what? How, when he does start digging in, what are they feeling? Is it like somebody is like knocking on your door, or like when you're in your bathroom and you're like,
Yeah,
I think someone's in
my
the stall next to
understanding-
me.
there's
My understanding is always they see like sort of what you look like. They know
yeah.
right.
because of the focus needed. They kind of know who you are just by default.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
an interesting way to think of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can
I always.
you can also use the present as the thing creatures you can't see. But you basically just hear the surface level thoughts of like yeah, and you listen around, and it's mostly people just thinking about day-to-day life stuff, thinking about how much just mentally just bitching about their just like being mad at their day, or like, oh man, my stupid
So
boss, or mostly some people with some thinking of unpure thoughts about the the impure thoughts of the bartenders. And
it really is that scene from Twilight where it's just work, sex, cat.
yeah, kind of like it's just like and somebody's just thinking about how much they like they're just like th- somebody that you see is trying to act cool is thinking about how much they have a crush on somebody over on the other side of the bar, and but mostly just that surface level stuff, and you know uh and like just I would say one person I would say it was one person that you kind of like do kind of catch out of the corner of like your thoughts is thinking of like along those like lines of like, man, what the hell was the deal with
How's
those?
fishing?
What the hell is the deal with these bounty hunters and why they're asking around? Hopefully, I make that work for me. I wonder if it's bought one of these, see that I can make that work for me. Bill of money, that'd be good.
But nobody seemingly giving up the ghost.
Yeah.
Hearing a TV in the background is very fun.
It's like, and then he goes, yeah, you guys are again. You have your like your table, and and the server comes like, you had ordered a few drinks, and the server comes over and is like, well, I haven't seen you, this like young, fairly handsome, uh, male human kind of approaches lively. It's like, well, I haven't seen y'all around these parts, but what brings you around up to Lavender?
My
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, it's the Brash. Have you heard anybody talk about him lately?
Mega, the who?
Careful, Sep. It's spreading.
Mega the, what do you say? Mega the splash? Mega the rash? What?
Brash. I
Oh.
can't do it. Part of the odds and Dies, whatever.
Oh, those
Organs
people,
or
those meatheads. Yeah, I mean, we've seen a few of them come in. I mean, they usually cause problems. Try to, they drink a lot, but on good days they just kind of get here, get wasted, and then go about their
Yeah,
day.
move
But
on.
sometimes just get on a bad day, and a lot of them they just like start a fight, start mayhem, just like not exactly the most pleasant. We usually try.
Of individuals.
We wish I would. I mean, honestly, I wish we could ban them, but the boss is like, money is money, and
That's crazy.
So it sounds like the boss are a little. They don't want to turn away the pay, huh?
well, yeah. I
How much do you
understand.
think they're bringing in? A week or every week or two. You know how much they're probably bringing in with all of their hoot and holler.
I have no idea. I try to avoid even serving them. I feel a little bad that I kind of pass off the buck at the table, but I just avoid them. Let somebody else take care of them.
So
And I don't know nothing about the books. You don't ask me about.
I was gonna say, do you know who would know about them books? Because I think that we may have an interesting offer if they're willing to give us a little information. We could probably get them out of your hair, or even better yet, get them completely gone and get you paid just as fine.
I mean,
Because we're looking.
I'll see if the boss
Yeah,
is
you
around.
were.
I mean, once I'm done with my round, I'll see if the boss is around. See if a manager's around. I'll and if they can get around
Please
and
and
talk
thank
to you
you.
guys.
Please
Well,
and thank you.
Well, here's your last of your drinks. Y'all enjoy your evening out of the way.
When was the last time you saw him around here? Recently.
Um, like maybe like a week and a half ago, there was a few of them, a couple of them. But I don't know what they were up to. Somebody else might be
I
able to
thought
tell
they're
you.
probably due to be back soon, anyways. Doesn't sound like they're gone too long in between these little breaks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, if it was only a few days, odds are they'd probably be gone for at least a week. But week and a half, that sounds about time when the liquor runs dry.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's pretty much all I know about that. Yeah.
Well,
What?
you let that boss know that we're looking for him, sugar.
Well,
And can't wait for the next drink.
all right, sweetheart. I'll be around when I can when I have a time. But I'll see y'all around. And he kind of like saunters off. And
See, that's how you do it. Just getting serious with all right. See, that's exactly.
and you kind of like sit there and you know for like a few minutes, kind of like wondering and looking around, and you notice that kind of like a stern gentleman, kind of dressed a little bit all black, kind of approaches a little slowly, and he's like, "Y'all want to know about them altar dolls?
Absolutely.
Sure do.
I mean, I might have
So
some.
we hear they're making.
I might have
Go
some
ahead.
information for that might be able to
Oh,
give y'all with for a price.
you're the owner of this here establishment.
No, but I work for a company.
Mm.
Don't
I start
matter.
rubbing my temples like I'm trying to signal. Like somebody read my mind, please. Just somebody take a gander up in here a second. This don't smell right, yo. Immediately, everything. This don't smell right. to
You
me.
see Ox
Anybody
just
else feeling
rubbing
the
his
same?
temples.
Yeah.
You see
No,
Ox
but
when
I'm
he's
like
rubbing his.
glancing over. Yeah, I'm like glancing over, just like, hell, come on. Like,
So you simply see him rubbing his temples and looking at you.
yeah. Do I have to roll something to communicate this?
Yeah.
Come on, friends, pick up on my vibe.
100 gold pieces. I'll be able to tell you a little bit of something about what I know.
Am I still
It must be
detecting
some
thoughts?
really good shit, you know.
I'm gonna say, well, how long it should be. How long is the duration of detect
1
thoughts?
minute.
1 minute.
It's
Oh,
up to
okay.
1 minute.
Yeah, it would have been after that. It would have been after. So
I don't want to
Sleep.
spend another
Better-
10.
He should still be able to just hear the general thoughts of the room, right?
when it
not
was
after a minute.
active,
That's
but
why I was asking.
yeah,
Oh, it's no longer active.
yeah. It was a few minutes
How many
later.
gold? How many gold pieces?
100. Yeah, I know y'all must be one of them asking around trying to hunt for that bounty. Y'all hunted for that. I hear it's
I was gonna say,
10,000. So
okay.
100 is just
Yeah, as long as
chump
we
change
have it.
compared to that.
First of all, sir, I am flattered that you think we have we look like we have 100 gold easily to spend for information. Thank you very much. That has made my day. First off, that has made the second thing that has made my day. First was that lovely waitress. Second of all, I'm not seeing. Do you have something? Maybe we'll give you what could you give us for about 50 gold worth of information? What do you think you can give us for that? Then maybe we can talk about maybe another 25, maybe even that 100 you're aiming for. But what's at least worth 50? Because 50 we might be a little more willing to spend.
Give me a persuasion check.
Thank you very much, Petey. And now I can do it from persuasion from my phone. 11.
I was like I said, 100 gold pieces. It's pretty valuable information. Won't be
It
the one.
sure
You
is.
all won't be the only ones asking around.
But if I was also looking to make a profit from a lot of people looking to make an even bigger profit, that sounds like the basis of all the earliest form of scam work. I respect it. I'm not gonna lie, I respect the hustle. But just calling him out at this point, just flat out, it's saying that it would be a good plan. I believe you now. You're saying you have 100 worth of information. I believe you, sir. I am willing to buy that bridge. However, it definitely sounds like a bridge is being sold, and I would perhaps update your tactics if they were tactics such therein for being applied here. Like, I'm literally thinking his brain is working.
Is it?
Because I'm sure I could go up to quite a number of us looking bounty hunters. Say I have 100 gold worth of information and only got about a 10, maybe 15 gold tip, let alone a full tidbit of direction.
Well, I mean,
so to speak.
if you're not in the business of gathering this information, I'll be about my day. There's no sweat off my back.
Feel
As he
free. We'll see you later.
Starts to walk away.
How much was he asking for?
100 gold. Do you know how much alcohol that can buy you? I can get an ale here for 3 copper. We are here in the city.
As he walks
and
away,
I am excited.
he strolls away off to the bar, posts up on a stool at the bar.
I kind of whisper down to the table, who here's got the sharpest eyes and ears for that fella back there? Because I have a feeling he's either going to be trying to sell that to somebody else like us, or he's tailing us directly, because he knew what we were looking for without even doing a single thing. We wanted to talk with the manager, and he's already offering a bounty, knowing about being bounty hunters. I don't like that. Again, we don't look like that. We're too squishy. We're too squishy to be these like champion adventurers they're anticipating us to be. Again, I believe in us, right? I know we are, but from the outside, I can understand us looking a little less than intimidating. But we have put down a bitch.
I mean, yeah,
So,
we are
I would recommend someone keeping an eye out on him.
I mean, we
two
were
rabbit
just
folks
talking
with the
about
fox, and
if he's listening to anything.
yeah.
What's he look like?
He's kind of like just a fairly tall male human. A little bit of like
I guess
face.
the more important question: do we think we can fight him?
I mean, probably. if he doesn't seem like he's
If
like.
you are so inclined.
I mean, you can size him up with an inside check.
I'll take that inside check. I've been eyeing down this guy. I'd say it feels appropriate. I want to get a read on him, see if he's actually been telling the truth this whole time.
Wow,
But I got a -1, and
I don't see shit.
yeah, your boy's got a 6. I'm basically looking at this man like he's disguised as one of Organization 13 in my brain. Like, I don't have a face; it is just a black hood of clothes.
It's just, it's
So
just,
I don't have a read.
Yeah,
A lot of us aren't getting much.
Yeah, a lot.
I was gonna say because
it's hard to get a
I
read.
could friend him, but I don't.
I'm getting a vibe that we are not the best judges of character as a group.
I don't want to fight him, and friends turns them hostile as soon as the spell ends.
It doesn't necessarily turn them hostile. They just know that a lot of people don't like the idea of you messing with their heads.
This says for the duration, you have advantage on charisma checks directed at one creature of your choice.
How about this?
That isn't hostile. When the spell ends, the creature realizes that you use magic to influence its mood and becomes hostile towards you.
Yeah.
So before we take a step in that direction, Mr. Magic Man, before we take a step in that avenue, let's try a little more gentler persuasion, and let me try one quicker idea, and then we'll go from there. Can I call over the waitress and I hand her like a single gold piece to buy the man a drink from a distance? He's already at the bar. I want to see if just a little kinder persuasion later. Yeah, just
The waiter
just
from
a little
before.
bit standing alone. Yeah, the nice southern lady I was chatting
Well,
with.
it was a
Was it a
gentleman.
waiter? Oh, it was a gentleman. Oh, the voice was nice. It was higher. I guess I
It also
misinterpreted.
goes into,
Yeah.
hostile doesn't necessarily
Yeah.
mean they immediately attack or anything. There's a lot of
Exactly.
hostile.
But even before we jump into this man's brain, let's see if we can just coerce him the old-fashioned way.
You call
Just-
over the waiter.
Yeah, call
it's
him the
like,
waiter.
well, all right, well, buy him a drink. Oh, sure. And he
Mhm.
pockets the or takes
Inventory.
the gold and goes over.
How much would it be?
It's like,
How much is gold piece? Just a single. It should be.
yeah, you give him a gold piece and walks away. And yeah, and you do notice that the server takes what seems to be like a pitcher of some frothy, some nice over to
Yeah.
the gentleman to the gentleman. Like, and he receives it, and they communicate. It's like he gestures to you, and it's like drinks it, and he goes back to
We'll keep an eye
minding
on
his
that.
own business.
Now we keep an eye out. Now let's meet with the big boss, but we keep an eye out for that guy right over there. But now, you may not necessarily have to hate us. Y'all want to mess with his mind a little bit later? That's up to y'all. But I think we had a good start.
Yeah,
Yeah. I guess if it were me, I would just wait until we get the opportunity to meet with that actual gentleman who we know has been having some dealings at this bar with them versus the stranger.
Yeah, I guess. It makes sense to play it safe.
If y'all want to fight, I'm sure we'll get into a fight pretty quick. But let's get ahead in first.
And I say you kind of like sit around for a little bit, a few minutes, turn to a few more minutes. In a half hour, you see the gentleman's just minding his own business, just having drinks at the bar. You um just maybe a lot of people around you have conversations with each other. There's some people dancing. There's just just a lot of some rabble rousing, a little bit, maybe some there's a shoving match over in the corner that kind of gets broken up really quickly, but nothing major. And the gentleman's just the guy's just sitting there by himself, paying nobody no mind.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, this probably would have been a lot easier if he hadn't, announced all that stuff.
What? And I don't recognize him.
No, not as far as you've never met him before.
Gotcha. Because that was going to be my thing. Do I know him in ways? But
You kind of sit around, you know, and as you said, and you kind of watch
Can I?
around. Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say, can I throw like can I detect like any specific magics coming out of this guy that we might be able to use to like coerce? Like, because he wouldn't be detective of that; it would just be something that I notice.
So do you have let me double check
I've had
on?
detect magic as a first level.
Let me just double check. Detect magic. I mean, you could try to detect around you, see if you can detect magic around you. It might be able to, he's within 30 feet of you.
Yeah,
But, yeah,
do
so,
that, I guess. Pop that spell.
yeah, yeah. As you kind of like, you pop the detect magic. Um, you you don't catch anything around you that stands out other than like mundane everyday magic stuff like the kind of the lanterns that you're usually used around. They're kind of like you give
Right.
off light and things like that. Maybe just somebody has like around here has um like a very faint magic ring. But usually those are kind of like those standard, but nothing like wild out there. And from him, you don't really detect any magic around him or any magic aura. Uh, as far as like, say, any visible creature. Um, that bears magic. No, yeah. You don't detect any magic aura around him.
All right.
Mm.
Where am I?
Yeah. This
Um, and while you're sitting there, you see um, a slightly portly uh, dwarf dwarf gentleman, with kind of like a well kept like mustache mutton chop, kind of like uh, the mustache that kind of swoops down and up into very well maintained mutton chops, very salt and pepper, uh, balding up top, uh, and kind of
This guy looks like Mario's dad in my mind.
it's like and the dwarf kind of comes up to you. It's like, what's this? Hello, um, friends. I was told you wanted to meet me. Uh,
Yes, sir. So we've been hearing you've been having some roughhousers keeping your business, a little afloat, but a little worse for wear. Am I correct about this?
I mean, I mostly just help run the place, but I don't know. I think they said you were asking about the odds and odds. Uh,
Yes, sir. I heard it was just groups of some rowdy boys here.
Rolf and I, Rolf is who kind of more runs the place, have been dealing with them is just they can be a little rough around the edges, but they show up and they drink and they pay and they deliver good money to this establishment. They could be a little bit rowdier some days than others, but the
Have you noticed them getting a little more rowdy, particularly since some of the shifts happened in town? Maybe something.
I don't know what's happened in town. I mean, more than usual. Other than so that bounty announcement by that
That's
Mansouri guy.
That's what I'm saying with the exactly. So since the whole business with Matsuri went down, have those fellas been acting a little rougher than they're usually used to?
No, I mean, other than I heard a few of them got, a few of them that used to come here got arrested somewhere else. I don't know where, but they said that there's a few of them that are going to get petrified, which is, kind of spooky. It's always spooky to see that happen when it does, but it's part of our important justice system. So it's not my problem, but
Yeah, it definitely sounds like their problem.
yeah, that you
Do
might
you know where
find.
they're kept?
You might find at the barracks. The barracks also houses the city dungeons. You find that but not too far from here. You go more closer to bit south, more closer to the coast, but and that's where they would house criminals. I mean, people that they accuse to be criminals. I don't want anyone. I don't want it to be thought that I'm accusing any of the odds and odds of being criminals. They're just hardworking, tough businessmen.
Oh.
But
Of course. But yeah, you haven't heard anything too sour about them outside of them just being regular customers to your establishment.
I mean, some of the servers and the bartenders don't really like them all too much, but and
Yeah, but nothing particularly sketchy.
I mean, a lot of people are sketchy around here, but they're no more sketchy than anybody else around here.
That's a fair point,
Yeah,
sir.
we got a few of the company of the
To
many.
be fair, we
that
are
work
asking about other individuals and their business, so if we're being transparent about all of that.
We don't have quite
Either
a lot
way.
of security here, so usually one of the many places that the company of the many conduct their business, or the business that is some might consider less than scrupulous, but it's none of my
No, it's a
concern. But we do have quite a few of them that are patrons here as well, and a few others that are in activities that are frowned upon in some circles. But
Well, if it gets a little bit past broken plates and broken cups, let us know, because we're here trying to make a little more good happen versus just trying to find a bit of a profit, so to speak.
I mean, if you
Which is how you actually know people are trying to keep your regulars who actually enjoy being here, whether scrupulous or otherwise. The ones who actually can be here nice and safe, they might as well need a little more protection in general.
the people in my establishment usually are able to take care of themselves. I trust them to be able to handle their own affairs. If you
That
do
says more
have
about the city than you'd say, than you know.
if anything, if you find one of the company of the many members, they do deal in information and
Oh, so some of those boys are legitimate, because we've had a few scammers back home trying trying to pass off something, knowing something when they don't know nothing. You know what I mean?
I mean, they will often at least have some information. They trade in data, information, and things like that, and intel, and yeah, that's one of the.
So you're familiar with that kind of process. Does 100 gold
I
sound a
just
little
wanna-
too high by your liking? See,
I mean, it
you're
depends
also
on
a numbers man.
depending on the information. 100 gold could be very, very, could be right along what you would usually expect.
Absolutely.
to-
Having
to-
information that's worth 100 gold is 100% what we're trying to find. The question being, do you know if these gentlemen usually tend to be carrying around that value of information themselves? Like, is it standard for someone to know what would be several
But it depends.
genuinely pretty good nights in a fairly nice hotel? Like, a very modest stay is at least probably like 2 gold a night. 100 gold could set you up for at least a good season or two.
I will say that the right information could be very valuable to priceless. As from what I've heard, not that I personally work in that kind of in those kind of circles or that kind of business, but that is what I hear. That is all pretty much what I would know. Beyond that, I do not have much concerns in those businesses, but I know that you can probably find someone that could deal in those dalliances and that work. Of course, it's none of my business. I simply just thank you for patroning my establishment and enjoying my drinks. Well,
Thank
our
you,
drinks.
sir.
It's not really my place. It's more Rolf's place. But maybe one day I'll own a place like this.
Oh well, sounds at least you're closer than you'd expect. Sounds like you're at least partners with Rolf. This Rolf, yeah.
Mostly just manage the place, but one day.
Maybe
Well,
maybe someday.
speaking of managing, I do have work to do. But you have a wonderful day.
Same to you, sir. Take care.
Take care. And he kind of like walks away. And like,
we don't have the money together to just pay this guy.
Sure.
Yeah.
At least now I know he's not just some random fucker.
we should. I mean, we do. Spywise says, well, we did get paid pretty handsomely, and I didn't really spend anything since we were finishing that adventure. I didn't really need to buy anything since then, and I was
Because
mostly
I
just
have
gonna.
no gold in my backpack, which is why I didn't pay this guy in the first game place.
I think you should have had like 113.
I'm showing 10.
It must have been
I've got
because you didn't
300
update it on
gold.
D&D Beyond before you imported it into Foundry.
Mm.
You should have. It should have 313. Well, Sept has 313.
Yeah.
I had 120, so I assumed I got my reward nice and easy.
Yeah, might have been
I'm
like.
definitely planning on going shopping after we figure out where we're heading. Before we start going to where we're heading.
Let's just say you have 300. We'll figure it out.
300 as a party?
No, he is.
No, me.
Yeah.
But I want to pay the guy for the information he had. I go up to the guy.
And it's like, well,
I'm like, hey, I'm sorry about my friends. I don't know what they're thinking. Like,
Nah, we're.
and it's like, well, do you have have you changed your mind about my information?
the 100 gold, yes.
And you hand him the 100 golds and it looks, doesn't gives a quick look, but doesn't do too much to like doesn't do too much of an overt effort to count it, but he does give it a look.
He gives it the feel. Like, yeah, this feels like about 100 pieces of gold.
Yeah,
Son of a bitch.
it's like he seems to do it in a way that like he looks, he doesn't give it a look and count, and but not too much, just to almost like he's like trying not to question you. It's like, well, I will say that there were two odds orcs that were at the bar just a couple of days before that Nadia Mansouri was kidnapped. I, I didn't hear a lot of what I didn't hear everything they had to say, but I did hear them, the pair complaining a lot about a recent stay in the city of Kola, to the west.
Hold up.
So it seems like they were dealing with having to stay there in that city and having to travel from there. So
Did they seem scared of what happened, or just
they just
in
seem to be
general
complaining.
wanted to get out?
They're just complaining of
Inconvenienced
having
by
to.
the city and the trip.
They just seem to be complaining about the place, just about having to stay there, and seems like a
God.
good lead to find who you might be looking
Yes.
for.
Thank you. This will be helpful. I relay the hey, maybe we should head to the west.
Any particular complaints that stood out?
Well, it said the city of Kola, Kola, or basically Qola.
Voila. Like the animal.
Kivala.
Qdoba. But yeah.
Have you ever been to that city?
Is Spywise is like, well, I have not personally, but I know it's a wild place. I don't know. I've never been personally. I've, I don't know about y'all. I don't think a lot of us have been that.
If we're gathering
far
information from the information gathering man, can you ask him how much it might be to get like a directory of the city? I want to find some places to go shopping and purchasing, and I'd love to know what's around. I don't know who to ask, but I think the information man may be a first step.
He says, "Well, I mean that I can just tell you for free. I mean, there's a
That's
ton
what
of
I wanted.
places. But that's just daily city life information. Nothing needs brokering there. I mean, there's tons of places to shop and general stores. Usually in every district, there's at least a couple of general stores. So if you're wherever you're staying, you can usually find a general store to get some basic supplies and maybe an armory to get some basic, weapons or armor. It's just
Where would I go if I was trying to find a little bit more beyond basic, so to speak? Maybe something a little more specialty or a little more higher quality. Like when you have a little bit of money to burn, where would you be heading here in town?
I personally, I'd be heading to the brothel. But that's just me.
I was thinking more material goods versus feeling, Miss Dr. Feel
Or
Good, so to speak.
I might head to the gambling gambling
Okay,
hall.
now we are heading in the right direction. You know,
Gambling
a little
hall.
less, human touch, little more just cold hard cash.
There's a couple of
That
A
was
gambling
little
not
more
halls.
action.
I wasn't anticipating brothel.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
Gambling house.
that's pretty much it. I mean, you can find places that's like just like, you know, there's obviously like every place there's a potion shops and scattered all around everywhere. You know, you can find some y'all adventure y'all are the rough and tumble type, so you probably need some healing potions of some kind. So you probably find those around. But you know, your standard stuff.
Sounds pretty effective. Alrighty, well. I don't know about
wanna
y'all, but
tell
I'm already
my
making a
parents-
plan for where I'm heading next.
I want to tell my parents before we head out. Like, hey, like, I feel obligated to see this through.
Yeah.
Like, is it like
Yeah.
there's something pulling me? Like, I would feel bad not to get it out there and see what I can do and help out.
Yeah. Yeah.
My time. Sounds like the little baby boy's leaving the nest for the first time.
So I was like, yeah, I can definitely understand that, young one. All right, and I would say we're at the point where with that information gathered, as you guys plan your next steps within or without Castle Grasp, that would be a good place for us to wrap up for the evening.
Great.
It was another fantastic, a couple steps forward. We starts to get a little closer to finding Mega or finding your next answers. Who knows? At least the next part of the adventure. But yeah, thank y'all for being with us for this edition of Through the Tomes. Be sure to check out Rebelli TV on YouTube. I promise I'm going to get to catching up on YouTube right now. That I'm a little behind on VODs, and eventually I'll try to get caught up on the episode stuff on thetomes.com. But either way, Rebelli TV on YouTube for the show and other VODs. If you're there on YouTube and I have caught up, come on over to Rebelli TV on Twitch. Watch us live, watch the show live, watch Record Breakers, our music podcast, our GMO streams, and whatever other things we might cook up in the future. But yeah, like, share, subscribe, do all the things. Until next time, hasta los huevos.
Adios.
Toodaloo.
Annyeong. Fighting.
Hasta luego.